Yeah, I think that's a bad thing.
Oh, so you're against it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one. Two, you think that my mom getting a hysterectomy because she medically relied on it was wrong?
Because why?
She medically relied on a hysterectomy. The doctors indicated that it was effective and most effective for her health, to get a hysterectomy after she had 3 children.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think there are instances in which it's okay to perform surgeries, right? Like, I think that if you have like a bad heart or something like that, it's okay to get a heart transplant.
That contradicts your stance. You said that women getting hysterectomies is wrong.
Correct. I probably shouldn't have said that as a universal case, right? I think there are instances in which things are permissible, but I think the motive is an important factor.
And that's determined by the doctors, right?
What's up?
That's determined by the doctors, right?
What?
Like when that's applied, right?
When what is applied?
If you leave it up to the doctors, you don't say the government should determine that, you say the doctors should, right? The medical professionals.
My point is that like elective vasectomies and hysterectomies for the sake of like recreational sex is not a good thing. My point again, I'm trying to talk about abortion, and we're trying to talk about like. Again, my point is like I also think that like murder should be illegal, which is illegal. Great. So I'm in union with that.
So when you say that you're against all forms of mutilation, right? Everyone knows that you don't say that because you don't think surgery's wrong, right? That's all.
Yeah, right. Like I don't think it's like a universally true thing. I think there's some instances in which that we should like.
So then why'd you use that as a response to what she said?
What's up? With what?
That was a response.
Yeah, and I probably should have spoken more precisely. I apologize.
Are you saying that like we shouldn't be able to mandate vasectomies because it could possibly have a negative impact on the health of men?
Yeah, I don't think that we should mandate things like that.
No, but is it because it could possibly have a negative impact on the health of men?
No, not because on the health of men, because I think that it's wrong to electively mutilate yourself.
Like surgery. You think surgery is wrong?
Do you think it's elective?
Wait, when you say elective, it's going to be relating to medical circumstances, other circumstances in their life, things like that are very relevant. You agree, right? And like, for example, do you think women should be allowed to get breast reductions if they want to? Technically, under your view, that's mutilating. I don't think that's wrong. That's elective under your view. I think they should be able to do it. Do you think they should be able to do it?
I mean, I think there's many instances that I think it's a very complicated issue, right? I think that there's women that like when it causes pain and suffering, like I think that's definitely something that's
like hysterectomy,
right?
Like hysterectomy.
So to reduce pain, couldn't you also get an abortion to reduce pain? Because the zygote, the embryo, will never feel pain in its life if you get an abortion. But you know who does feel pain?
It is still
the pregnant woman.
Hold on,
let me finish. The pregnant woman feels pain. She has to go through a pregnancy where she has a chance of dying. There's literally a chance of them dying. So why would you want to put them at an extra risk of pain and extra risk at dying when it is the case that you wouldn't be putting a zygote or an embryo at an extra risk?
Please talk about what abortion is, like what I came up here to do. I've seen you guys dance around the issue. Okay.
First, you think first trimester abortions are wrong, right?
Correct.
So I'm talking about first trimester abortions.
Okay.
I'm talking about embryos. How about this? Do you think it's okay to freeze embryos?
No.
No? You think it's wrong to freeze embryos?
Yes.
So any people that are freezing embryos so that they can have children in the future because they have fertility issues, that's wrong under your view.
Yes, I think it creates a
IVF is wrong too, right?
Yes.
So if someone was made through IVF, you're saying should that person go to prison if they utilized IVF?
I think that we should do our best to legalize it and make it so that the doctors that are partaking in it, that they don't do that. And if they do continue to do that post the illegalization of it, that they lose their medical license.
Why is it the only doctors? Because the thing is, like, if I call a hitman to kill someone, you agree I should be charged for that, right?
Right, but I think things like this are incredibly confusing, and I think that they're particularly nuanced, and I think the vast majority of the American people don't understand these issues as much. I mean, it's complicated for even me. Like, I mixed up the plain D pill.
What did I just say?
What did you just say with what?
Yeah, what did I just say?
About what? Like,
what were you responding to?
About making IVF illegal. Why should we not do it when we make the hitmans illegal?
Yeah, you're saying only the doctor should be held accountable,
right?
In the context of these situations with abortion, with freezing embryos, with IVF, right? But you don't acknowledge that if you were to call a hitman to murder someone, that you should be accountable for calling the hitman. Under your view, you're saying none of these people should be held accountable, yet you consider it murder. So that makes me think you don't actually consider it to be murder, and you're just saying this.
No, I do think that it's murder. It's just my point is I think it's an incredibly complicated issue, and I think there's people that don't know as much, and they shouldn't be as culpable for a crime they don't understand.
Okay, so like if
But the
someone,
abortionists do, which is why I've been mad about them.
so if someone kills a baby, not knowing that it's a person or something, because they're in some like diluted state, maybe because of a certain drug or something, are you saying that they should not be held accountable?
Yeah, like if I spiked your drink and put you on drugs and you grabbed a gun and killed people because you thought you were in a dream, no, I don't think that you should be held responsible for that.
So your issue is any type of outside force that terminates a pregnancy, right? Anything that would cause a cessation of pregnancy, yes?
No, not necessarily. I mean, there's like.
So what are your exceptions?
I mean, I think miscarriage is a real thing, right? I think that happens outside
Sure.
the fault of women,
Okay.
right?